So I created this program. I kind of did it two different ways. I have this example one, which is the original way I wrote it. So what the purpose of this is we're trying to create a little app that calculates years to retirement. So the task we need to complete is we need to get the scanner in, we need to parse name and age, change name to uppercase, flip first and last name, calculate years to retirement, and then return a string. So first thing we had to do is import java.util.star. So that imports the whole library. We also could, because we only need the scanner out of that library, we could also type java.util.scanner and got the same thing. But this is the whole library versus just the scanner. So the first thing that's going to happen in this program when we run it is it's going to print welcome to retirement calculator when prompted enter first and last name, when prompted enter age. So this right here in this method, we're going to, is for the output at the end of the input. So we'll come back to that after we talk about this. So down here, right, we have this method where we're calling getting the input of a name. So right, scanner console equals new scanner.systemin, system.out print, please type your full name, and then we're looking for a string from the console. So when we run it, you'll see how that works. And then this is what we're looking for to alter the output. So string, right, we're calling a string. We're trying to split up our name into first and last name. So I named this first equals name, so we're calling name from up here, from this input scanner, dot substring, comma 0, name, dot index of, quote, space, quote, dot to uppercase. So what we're doing is we're knowing the first name is the first word in the string, and then we're converting all the letters to uppercase. Then down here, string for last name equals name dot substring name dot index of, quote, space, quote, +1 dot to uppercase. So that's gonna dictate last name, and we're returning last plus comma or quotes comma space plus first. So by putting that space in the quotes, we're not going to have our name bunched up. We're actually going to create a space between our first and last name in this case. Then down here in this method where we have years, right, we're calling the scanner. We're looking for a system out that's going to ask output, please type your age. And we use, instead of using integer or string like we did up here, we put in integer because we're looking for an integer. So age, and then we called it age. And then this is the call line to get the input. So the system out is your age is plus this named range. And then we're returning 65 minus age to calculate years until retirement. So once we've had this, then the program loops back to this part up here. So right, so the string is named input equals name, so we're calling the data, the information we gathered from this method down here, and then input 2 is we're calling this method down here, and we're outputting name, colon, plus, quotes, retirement in, and notice there's spaces, 2 great spaces in the text string, input 2, so now we're calling this return down here, and then years. So when we run the program, I'm going to hit okay, now how do I pull up the text box, right? So now we pull up this. So type my full name. I'm just going to type my first and last name and my age, right? See, uppercases, so Snedden, comma David, retirement in 26 years. Now if I do this, I'm going to run it again, but I'm going to type my first name, my middle name, and my last name. And my age, right? William Snedden, comma David, retirement in 26 years. So that didn't work how I wanted it to work. I wanted it to read Snedden, comma David William, retirement in 26 years. So I'm going to close this one out. I'm going to open this one. So right, if you notice, everything in this first method is the same. What I changed comes in here. So reading on the internet, reading what commands I have, I played around with a bunch of different things. So the first thing I did is integer last name. So what I did there is by making integer of last name, I basically converted the string to each letter in the string is now given a number. So 0 for the first letter, and whatever the last letter is given that number. Name dot last index of. So now instead of indexing off of the first word, I'm indexing off of the last word. And then quotes, quotes. So now for my string, so first name equals name dot substring 0 comma last name dot to uppercase. So I'm referencing this string up here. Now for last name dot string last equals name dot substring last name referencing this +1 to uppercase, and this returns the same. So what I was able to do with this one is if I run it and I type David William Sneddon and my age, I'll type a different age this time just to see if the math is right. I'll type 64 just to check and make sure my math is right. Right, now we got that output I was looking for. Now Sneddon, comma, David William, retirement in 1 year. And we could even expand this further just to check it, right? I'll make up a second middle name and different age just to check, make sure the math is right. Right, boom. So now we have it working right. So that's my code for the week for my homework assignment for assignment 3. Took a lot of work this week. Kind of had to use Google a little bit to find some different commands to make it work the way I wanted it to work.